Universitas Negara. Sebetulnya kita punya acara rutin setiap semesternya, bisa dilihat fotonya ada di luar. Jadi pembicaranya itu bisa pembicara dari luar maupun pembicara lokal. Nah, malam ini kita kedatangan 3 orang profesor yang jauh di sana, negara Swiss, yang ditemani oleh kawan baik saya, Profesor Rolf. Nah, para guru besar dari Swiss ini akan memberikan kuliah umum, topiknya tentang entrepreneurship, sekaligus nanti memperkenalkan diri organisasi mereka. Jadi mereka dari suatu perguruan tinggi negeri di Swiss yang rencananya di masa depan akan bekerja sama dengan UNTAR untuk menyelenggarakan program 2 degree, rencananya seperti itu. Nah, silakan nanti selain menikmati kuliahnya, di akhir acara ini saya mohon bantuan dari Bapak Ibu semua untuk memberikan respon atas beberapa pertanyaan yang dibagikan melalui pesan. Nah, sebelum kita mulai acara malam hari ini, yang tentu nanti akan disampaikan dalam bahasa Inggris, saya ingin memperkenalkan moderator kita dari sebelah kanan saya, pasti belum kenal semua. Ini adalah Pak Arnold, ya. Barangkali yang alumni dari UNTAR tahu, ya. Jadi Pak Arnold ini adalah alumnus S1 Manajemen UNTAR yang kemudian mengambil S3 atau Ph.D di Inggris, di UK. Nah, belum lama Pak Arnold kembali ke alma maternya, bergabung dan membantu kita di bidang kerjasama, terutama kerjasama internasional. Nah, untuk menghemat waktu, saya akan serahkan mic ini ke Pak Arnold yang akan menjadi moderator dan tentu akan memperkenalkan lebih dulu para pembicara yang sudah siap di sebelah kanan saya.
Thank you, Mr. Chairy. I'm sorry I have to do this in English, so I hope you do understand. So my name is Arnold Japutra. I'm one of the lecturers here as well. There are some of my students in this class, which is good. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to our guest lecturers. We have Professor Dieter Reineke. He is the academic head of Swiss Innovation and Swiss Next Challenge.
So, good evening and warm welcome also from my side. Hope you're not too tired for some more input. How much time do I have? Just keep to any time frame. 20 minutes. 20 minutes is okay. So I speed up a little bit and provide you with an executive summary, right? So, well, it's good to be here again. I think my first visit to Indonesia was in 1994. Since I have been here several times for consulting and teaching assignments, currently I work with the ASEAN Secretariat on the AEC 2015 process. So I know a little bit the environment, which is quickly changing, and that's good. And I hope that the focus on entrepreneurship also helps. But the aim of my presentation is not only to acquaint you with some of the foundations of modern entrepreneurship, but maybe also to help you to check yourself whether you are prepared to take the workload and all the headache that it takes to be an entrepreneur. So maybe I also would like to discourage some of you to a certain degree. But let's see, there are also some numbers who may show what it means. Yeah, maybe I start with a very classical one, and this is which are the regions in the world that really create most entrepreneurs. And you see that still overwhelmingly there's the Silicon Valley, which really is amused by now, and together with some other regions, most of them in the Anglo-American region attracts 52% of the more than 40 billion capital that is available in terms of venture capital. So you see that Switzerland is also there. You have to give credit to Switzerland because it's only 8 billion inhabitants. And you may wish to know that even there are only 8 million inhabitants in Switzerland, it's ranked number 7 in terms of numbers of patents in the world. So the 8 million inhabitants of Switzerland create many, many patents, and that is also what we see in our programs. It's always amazing. I have in my Swiss Innovation Program people at an age of 82 still working on a new patent. So it's really amazing. So that spirit is really there, and I think that's very good. But then also you see that it's not just coming from scratch. And if you just take the story of Silicon Valley as an example, many people think that Silicon Valley developed from a more rural area where you have fruit plants, this and that, and all of a sudden it entered into a venture capital heaven. That is not really true. So if you look at the real story of behind Silicon Valley, you see that already in the 1910s, 1920s, some test equipment, vacuum tubes, microwaves, all these industries maybe at a level where the world did not really see it develop there. So it was not starting from scratch. The big boost then, together with the Stanford University, was by the defense industry. So also money is needed, funds are needed. So it not just happened. Many people think the Silicon Valley immediately was there. It was not. It started very early in the 1910s, and then there was a big injection of capital, and even today many of the software companies work for the defense company, for the defense sector. So I think that is also important to know, to be realistic when you think about your expectations to set up anything like that. So what does it really mean, need to set up a fruitful environment for entrepreneurship? Control your destiny, or somebody else will, right?
Okay, so now questions. For your information, you can convey your question in Indonesia, and I will translate it for you. So this is my service to you. So questions? I have one question to all of you guys. So what do you think about a successful entrepreneur or successful entrepreneurs? Do you think that they are born or raised? As we know, like Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, he didn't finish his degree. So what do you think about successful entrepreneurs? Do you think that they are born or raised?
Good talk. What do you think?
Because you guys don't want to answer.
No.
I think it's both. What you need is the feeling, the good idea first. This is maybe you are born to have this idea, the creativity, but you can really learn it. You can even learn creativity. There are several techniques how you can develop an idea and then make it run. So I think, well, learning is an important thing. And partly maybe there's something that you have to bring.
That's very easy for me, I agree with you. No, I think it's both. It's born and raised. So I think you need to have a certain personality, risk-taking personality, be joyful, not all too severe to yourself, a bit crazy maybe. That helps. That always helped me. And then, yes, you need people helping you. I believe in that, and I think a university is a good place for that. It's a good place. You can learn quite a lot about entrepreneurship in a university at UNTAR. at the FHNW. So yeah, it's both.
I would think that you have born entrepreneurs, but this is a very, it's a minority. Most of them, I would think, are raised in a sense that you meet the right people at the time. So my experience is, in my life, when I look at my kids, at others, it makes tick at some point, sooner, later, or never. And whether it makes tick or not depends also on the people you meet, because you rarely manage to set up a successful company alone. I never set up a company alone. I never do that, and I think it's very difficult. Hurrah can do that. Hurrah is an exception, right? But I think usually you meet people and then it makes tick and you develop it. But yes, they are also born entrepreneurs, no doubt about it.
Other questions? Are you sure? So, oh, that's nice lady. Yeah.
In my class, we have learned entrepreneur not just make your own business, but the primary key is be creative and make a new venture that can help you grow and about your new business. My question is, are a trader that just sell product and resell the product is an entrepreneur too? Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would say yes. There are different definitions, and it's always a question on how narrow you put it. We, even in our innovation program, would consider management innovations. I think at the end of the day, entrepreneurship also means that you set up a company on your own and make it successful. And I would think that in many cases it's also worthwhile to think about old technologies. If you remember the coffee example, the coffee sector in Germany in recent years grew by 20-25% per year. And tell me any high-tech sector that developed at such a pace. So many people got rich with Nespresso and these type of concepts with a simple product like coffee. And yes, I totally would say they're entrepreneurs.
Okay, that's my plan. We have students.
We have students at School of Social Business. They are entrepreneurs. I think it's a mindset. So my answer to your question is yes.
No, nothing to add.
Okay. Okay. Do I have to add?
Yes, sure.
No, thanks. No, that's true. You know, Nespresso is one good example. I was in London 2 months ago, and there is actually a big establishment just selling Nespresso in the high street of Piccadilly. You know, the rent is horrendous. Maybe 1 month, 100,000 pounds sterling, just for a month. So millions of pounds sterling just for the rent of an establishment of Nespresso in Piccadilly. So you can see, do you want to be an entrepreneur or not? Okay. So I think we started a bit late, okay, but these guys actually have just arrived today at 3 p.m. So let's give them a round of applause. So we would like to say thank you very much for your time here. And maybe Mr. Chairy, do you want to say something? Okay. Message from Mr. Chairy, please fill in the question. Okay. And please think about this 3 guests, not me. Okay, I'm here, so please think of them. Okay.
If you want, you can take one of those, okay? I leave it here.
Okay, so after filling in the questionnaire, so you can give it to Rika. Okay. See you again at the next lecture. Good night.